some flatboats, and they would pole this boat up the river. And if they couldn't use these long poles, they had a mast with a sail. If the wind wasn't blowing up there, they would use cordel lines, which was these lines that were big cords, and the men would walk along the side of the river and pull these boats up the river. So they left Independence area, and they traveled up the Missouri area. They never got up here to Yellowstone, but this does connect. By December, they were up at the Mandan Indian Camp in North Dakota, so they spent the winter there. And following spring, after all the ice had broken up and flowed down the Missouri, and tree trunks and bison carcasses and all kinds of debris, after that all cleared up, they were finally heading up the river. They spent that next year traveling up through the Missouri into Montana, and they got over near the Three Forks of Montana. That's where three rivers combine to form the Great Missouri River. Can anyone name one of those rivers?
The Missouri?
Missouri, the three rivers form the Missouri.
Yeah. Good.
Madison, Jefferson, and Gallatin.
We got a winner right there. Free coffee for this guy. Oh, there's nobody here to follow up on that. Sorry about that. Madison, Jefferson, and the Gallatin, that's correct. And those three rivers all flow together within about a half mile of each other near the town of Three Forks, Montana, and they form the Missouri River. Anyway, once there, they got guide. I'm cutting this short just to get to the chase. They got Indian guides to guide them over the Bitterroot mountain range south of Missoula. And they finally got up to Oregon within 20 miles of the Pacific Ocean, and they built a fort there called Fort Clatsop. And they spent the winter there. They had kind of a hard time there. It was pretty rainy and cold, and there wasn't a lot of wildlife for them to subsist on, so they ate a lot of fish, river products. Come that following spring, they were happy to get going and head back the way they came. When they got back near the Three Forks, a little bit west of that, the party split up. Clark continued due east. Lewis went north. He wanted to find another waterway. He went north up into the Blackfeet country. Clark went due east. He went over the Continental Divide and dropped down into the Gallatin Valley, which is where Bozeman, present-day Bozeman is. Went over Bozeman Pass and dropped down into present-day Livingston, where they followed the Yellowstone River all the way out to the confluence of the Yellowstone and the Missouri, which is just across the Montana line in North Dakota. So Lewis eventually went up and got back on the Missouri and took that down, and within 2 weeks the two parties met up, waiting for, Clark was waiting for Lewis near the Mandan camp in North Dakota. Okay, so after that they headed back to St. Louis. What I'm getting at is there was a fellow on this trip by the name of John Coulter. He was a good worker on the Lewis and Clark expedition. He was a hunter. A lot of times he would walk along the shoreline while the others were